event at the United Nations headquarters in New York, where delegates from over 180 countries will perform several asanas with the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi left on Tuesday morning on a 3-day visit to America. Now, the credit for giving yoga, an ancient Indian practice, an international platform, and the kind of recognition goes to Prime Minister Modi. It was in 2014 that a plan was put into action by the then External Affairs Minister, the late Sushma Swaraj, and former UN Ambassador Ashok Mukherjee. And since then, yoga is not only celebrated as a symbol of India, for India, but is also a significant leverage point in Indian diplomacy worldwide. And to discuss more about this very special day, I have my colleague Brijesh Pandey with me in the studio. And also joining us is Atul Vyas, who's a yoga expert, and Hira Yogi, who's also a yoga expert. A very, very warm welcome to all of you. But first, let's take a look at some of the visuals that we are getting. This is actually a visual spectacle more than what you and I could be talking about.
It unites body and mind, humanity and nature, and millions of people across the globe for whom it is a source of strength, harmony, and peace. In a dangerous and divided world, the benefits of this ancient practice are particularly precious. Yoga offers a haven of calm. It can reduce anxiety and promote mental well-being. It helps us to develop discipline and patience. It connects us to our planet, which so badly needs our protection. And it reveals our common humanity, helping us to understand that despite our differences, we are one. On this International Day of Yoga, let us embrace the spirit of unity and resolve to build a better, more harmonious world for people, planet, and ourselves.
That's indeed so calming, Brijesh. I mean, you know, for a lot of us who sit erect for a long time, it's mandatory. Do you think, but you know, so far as the diplomatic thing is concerned, do you think it was Yogi, sorry, I beg your pardon, do you think it was Modi who actually made it, you know, a brand that it was always there, yoga was always Absolutely. There. But do you think that the credit entirely goes to Prime Minister Modi? Because before that, like I said, it existed, one of the Vedas as it were. But then in the world, a few people knew about it. It was more about exotica. But now it is something which is recognized only and only with India, and particularly with Prime Minister Modi.
Well, you know, you very rightly said it was always there, you know, and yoga was practiced in various forms across the world. You know, whether it's a various form of Hatha yoga or any other, several other forms of yoga was practiced. But I think ever since the BJP government, especially Prime Minister Narendra Modi came to power, when the United Nations approved 21st June as the International Yoga Day, it was considered to be a big victory of the fact that how it was seen as a validation of India's soft power, because you know yoga has been attached to or has been considered as a symbol of India's India's rise. India's assimilation of culture. It is also seen as, I mean, you know, you can treat it just as a simple stretching exercise. You can also treat it as an inward journey. So, I mean, you know, it depends on how you want to look at yoga, and that thing being celebrated by the whole world over. You know, with tomorrow, approximately 180 countries will be celebrating it, and not to mention that, you know, all the top leaders of the BJP, cabinet ministers, Chief Justice of India, the Army, Navy, you know, performing yoga. It's going to be such a fantastic and a grand spectacle that, you know, that you just love it. I mean, I'll fumble in putting that spectacle to words. So it's definitely a manifestation. It's a beautiful inward spiritual journey as well. So I mean, the beauty of yoga, personally, I would say that, you know, it is whichever way you want to perceive it, whichever way you want to see it, it always helps you. Stretching helps you, meditation helps you, and going by the fact that, you know, now India is on the verge of becoming the diabetes capital, hypertension, and so on and so forth. The modern living diseases and all we get. I think, I mean, it's wonderful to see that, you know, yoga being at the center stage of the world stadium.
And also, you know, what really is remarkable, before I go to the guest, the thing is that it could have been popular, let us say, in one region of India, but today Like you said, tomorrow we will see the entire world doing asanas together. I mean, that is some kind of the soft power that India has, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it was practiced all over the world, but in, you know, smaller pockets. Like in
Yes.
India also, it was practiced in smaller pockets. It was never, you know, I mean, it was never seen to be conducted in this mammoth way as it is going to be conducted tomorrow. And yes, I mean, it is definitely perceived as in India's, you know, India as a soft power, yoga as you know, one thing which unites the whole world. And I mean, you know, to give credit where it's due, you know, Prime Minister Narendra Modi definitely gets to bag maximum credit as far as this assertion goes.
Right, there is, you look at the information coming on your screen right now. 2014 July, when Prime Minister Modi announced the need to bring yoga to the fore, and also, like Brijesh was just explaining, garner international attention. So the plan was put into action, like I said, by the late Sushma Swaraj and ex-UN Ambassador Ashok Mukherjee. So that's actually the journey, the genesis, as we know, of celebrating Yoga Day tomorrow internationally, when 180 countries will come together and perform asanas. It is about inward journey, it is about peace, it's about the balance of body and mind, it's about living healthy, but according to what is ancient Indian. Let me now welcome the guests who are joining us. Atul Vyas ji, who is a yoga expert, and also Hira Yogi ji, who is a yoga expert as well. Let me go to Atul Vyas ji first. You know, Atul Vyas ji, you know, yoga has always been there, like we've discussed it, we've seen it. Even Prime Minister Nehru, I remember, used to do Hatha Yoga apparently, and he had teachers, and you know, there were subsequent politicians who did it. But the way Narendra Modi kind of, you know, made this not only something where all of us should bond on a particular day, and bond for what? Not for votes, for a healthy mind and healthy soul and healthy spirit, as it were, but to also take it to an international arena is something which is remarkable, won't you think?
I think Mr. Modi, hello.
Please go on, Mr. Vyas, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think Mr. Modi has experienced it himself.
Okay.
Because the conviction and his strong determination is born out of his own experience of yoga. I mean, he did not do it just for the sake of political or making India as a soft power. I don't think so. I am convinced that he has experienced the tremendous benefits of yoga. And yoga people, the politicians who have been doing yoga, were the most charismatic leader of India. Jawaharlal Nehru was doing yoga, he was a charismatic leader. Indira Gandhi, she was a very charismatic leader. And Narendra Modi ji himself is the most charismatic leader born ever in India. So he has himself experienced the benefits, real benefits of the yoga in terms of success in the worldly life, in terms of health. He has not taken any leave till date. It's unbelievable. Being so cool as a prime minister, you know, I mean, Indian prime minister has to take a very major decision every 15 minutes. And look at the cool and calm and the composure and demeanor of the Mr. Modi. It is all because of yoga. So, as a superhuman being, and for example, there are not only yoga is not an exercise. There are two aspects of yoga as well. It's called yama and niyama. And everybody knows Gandhiji was a superhuman being. He adopted only, there are five yamas and 5 niyamas, and total there are 10. Gandhiji adopted only 2, Satya and Ahimsa, and he became a superhuman being.
Right.
If he adopts 10 of them, he can become a superhuman being.
Right.
So, not that Modi ji has done it for the, for the sake of political gain or soft power. He wanted to really benefit the entire world through yoga.
Yeah, you know what we were trying to say is that yoga, his message of yoga, and on an international stage or arena, has also made the world sit up and recognize India as a power, as in the sense yoga has that power. And therefore that, because there was a time when we were a country of exotica, of snake charmers, of the rope trick, all that is now gone. Now it is solid evidence that we are an ancient civilization. That was our intent. Let me come back to you. हीरा योगी जी, आपसे मैं पूछना चाह रही हूँ कि आज के दिन जो है, जो कल ये होने वाला है, लेकिन आज ये सवाल उठता है कि योगा के भिन्न भिन्न जो हैं वो तरीके हैं, जैसे कि मुंगेर स्कूल हो गया, BKS अयंगार का स्कूल हो गया जो कि बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध है, और शिवानंदा हो गया। लेकिन इन सब में अगर आपको एक चीज जो लगती है कि जो सबको बांध के जोड़ के रखती है वो तो योग है ही, लेकिन ये इन सब में आपको क्या लगता है कि अलग अलग ताकत है या फिर किसी एक स्कूल को चुनना चाहिए किसी को?
इसको एक उदाहरण देना चाहूंगा। पहले तो जो ये थीम रखी है पूरे ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में, वासुदेव कुटुंबकम इंटरनेशनल थीम है जो हमारा योगा डे का। पूरा विश्व हमारा परिवार है और योगा का मतलब ही जुड़ना है, पूरा परिवार जुड़ ही रहा है एक दूसरे से, एक देश दूसरे देश से। और ये नहीं कि योगा डे अभी से, योगा वर्ल्ड में इंडिया से ज्यादा योगा यूरोप में किया जाता है, अमेरिका में किया जाता है। प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी के आने की वजह से हमें एक योगा डे मिला, जिनका सबसे ज्यादा एक योगदान, एक फेस्टिवल है हम लोगों के लिए। अब जैसे आपने कहा कि मुंगेर स्कूल हो, शिवानंदा हो, मैं इसको हम ऐसे समझते हैं जैसे एक आटा होता है, रॉ फॉर्म में होता है, उसको हम डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पूड़ी बनाते हैं, पराठा बनाते हैं, कचौड़ीज बनाते हैं। रॉ फॉर्म तो रॉ फॉर्म रहती है। तो अष्टांग योग जैसे अभी हमारे व्यास भाई साहब ने कहा कि यम नियम आसन प्राणायाम प्रत्याहार धारणा ध्यान समाधि, तो आसना जो ये आसना एक प्रोस्पेक्ट है ना, पूरी दुनिया उसको लेके चल रही है कि हमें कैसे अच्छे पोस्चर्स करने हैं। और आपको ये बताइए योगा डे, योगा भारत की जर्नी है, भारत से ही निकला हुआ है और हम सब उसी के जन्मे हुए हैं। बट इन इंडिया अभी भी अदर कंट्रीज से हम लोग कम करते हैं। इस समय अगर आप सिंपल वेरिएशंस को भी पकड़ लेते हैं, जो सिंपलेस्ट है, इंडियंस को क्या है, डिफिकल्ट पसंद नहीं है। अगर हम सिंपलेस्ट वेरिएशंस को पकड़ लेंगे तो उसी से भी हमारी बहुत सारी बीमारियां ठीक होती है। जैसे एज माई एग्जाम्पल, कोविड से लेके टिल अब तक मेरे इंटरनेशनल में 32 कंट्रीज में एवरीडे क्लासेस होती हैं। तो हमने एक चीज उनको सीखा, एवरीवन वांट इजी स्टेप्स, आसनास, प्राणायाम एंड मेडिटेशन।
हाँ, क्योंकि
योग का सबसे बड़ा
जी
योगा का एक एशियन का जो एशियन इंडियन प्रैक्टिस योगा का जो सबसे बड़ा है ना, इसके जोड़ के फैमिली जो हमारे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होती है तो उसको बना के रखता है, क्योंकि जब एक जरा गुस्से में रहेगा तो दूसरा शांत हो जाएगा जी। दैट्स योगा हेल्प अ लॉट।
यस, हीरा योगी जी, मैं इसलिए भी कह रही हूँ कि was that Motu Patlu, Brijesh, which I saw? I mean, as a child, I read that comic. Was that Motu Patlu? Yes, indeed. My favorites, they're all dancing. How lovely is that? हीरा योगी जी, मैं आपसे ये कहना चाह रही थी कि सिंपल वे, क्योंकि जिस तरह का योग हम देखते हैं, बड़े बड़े योगी जो होते हैं जिस तरह करते हैं, तो अंदर से थोड़ी घबराहट होती है कि मैं वो कर पाऊंगा या पाऊंगी या नहीं. So basically, that is why people want it simplified. Brijesh, let me, how come yoga, it has, do you recall politics being played over yoga? For instance, I'm just giving you an example. No. All the BJP rule states will do it. So let us say the opposition, like let us say Chhattisgarh or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. Have you ever seen that they will not do it? Individuals may do it, but it will not be propelled by the government.
See, I think, of course there is politics, because, when you think of yoga, I think one of the most iconic pictures is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru performing Sirsasana.
Yes.
That's the most iconic, and perhaps it's very difficult because it also shows not only suppleness of your body, but also a kind of command you have over the movements of your body and the way you do it. So Sirsasana is not like your another form of yogic yoga posture. So there is that, but it happens, in political parties, somehow, there's always this tussle as to who gets extract the maximum credit, and I think, parties do tend to go overboard, and it leads to a kind of friction of, whether we should acknowledge or accept what is being touted as their their contribution to the world or their contribution to the country, which many people don't. But I think, I mean, people should rise above this. Nobody should try to play politics in this particular aspect, because I mean, right from the first Prime Minister, which is Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who himself was a super fit, I mean, would do yogic postures which many half his age would not be able to do right now, many of the ministers and others. It shouldn't be done, but that's unfortunate, and I think that's the way politics in India has been done.
Yeah, but so you basically are saying that Modi did what is called the first mover's advantage. I mean, he took advantage of it and ran with yoga. The rest, it was always there. Come on, Brijesh, we always
yeah,
say,
I mean, you see, it was always
you could have
there.
done
Nobody, see, I'm not going to mince my words. See, it's not like anybody discovered yoga. But yeah, the thing is that, yes, as I was saying, and it was also echoed by Swamiji, that that yoga is practiced more in Europe and America in various forms and various school of thoughts than India. So I think, I mean, it's unfortunate that, there are political parties who would like to claim credit, or like, would not do it just because some party has done it and all. But yeah, the contribution of the present government is that it got the yoga the kind of recognition which it deserved. It happened during their tenure, and as it happens with any government, had it happened with the Congress during the Congress government, they would have claimed credit. So I don't put much in, but like, I mean, as I said, that when you think of your politicians doing yoga, the first picture comes of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru doing a headset. So I mean, doing the Sirsashan is perhaps the most iconic yogic picture you can get. And then you can also, like, cannot do away with the contribution of, say, Baba Ramdev. He popularized the concept of yoga in India. You may like him, you may not like him. People will say that, this or that. But there are facts which are indisputable. He took it to another level, where it's like, you talk of cinema and then you talk of popular cinema. He made yoga the popular cinema.
Absolutely, which is what I was asking all these experts, because B.K. Iyengar, who was very famous pan-India and also internationally.
He's one of the biggest icons, as far as...
He's one of the biggest icons, but his yoga was considered tougher. I do not know why. You're right. I mean, it's more of Baba Ramdev making yoga more pop than anyone else.
I mean, it's also, people say that, like, Mark Twain says that, books of other great writers are like wine. Mine is like water. Everybody drinks water. So it's like, it's like you popularize a concept where, everybody would want to do a certain things, and whether you do it only for physical, or whether you want to attain but do meditation, or you go for your spiritual inward journey, it's all absolutely, the thing I love about yoga is this only. That, it's up to you how you want to perceive it and how you want to do it.
Wonderful. Atul Vyasji, I want to ask you that, there is a big tussle also. Yoga, of course, is about the unison of mind with body, is something that I know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what, that when the mind and the body comes together and there is perfect synchronization. But then, like, Brijesh, my colleague, was talking about it, that the best thing about yoga is you can do it in any which way. But there is also a tussle. We hear stuff like power yoga. Now in America, I don't want to take names, but there are proponents, some people, someone who settled there, in the 70s, he started yoga. Someone else settled there, I think in the 80s. There is power yoga. There is about yoga actually being perceived as something which is very slow and does not yield you all the results, and the results being that the young people want to lose weight and look good or whatever. Do you think that's a myth, Atul Vyasji?
Yeah, of course. There is something, these are all passing fads, whether it is power yoga, whether this is kind of yoga. I have learned from top gurus of India. My mother was the first lady yoga guru of India, and she had sent me to all top gurus, including B.K. Iyengar, Pattabhi Joyce, Dhirendra Brahmachari, even Osho, Krishna. I mean, so I know everything. I mean, you will be surprised, because, the yoga has changed because of the preferences of the Western audience. Even B.K. Iyengar on tape to interview to me has admitted that he has added this, I mean, what you call toughness, or these alignment thing, just to make the architecture of the asana beautiful. And and Pattabhi Joyce, a very famous yoga teacher from the south, who was considered the master of Ashtanga yoga, he admitted to me, because he had talked to me earlier, and when I went, I happened to meet him in New York. The people, what they were doing, I was just standing. I mean, I just could not follow them. So he laughed at me, and I said, we have made it more physical because it was the need of the audience. So this is the genesis, the need of the audience. Secondly, the yoga, as you said, as a mind and body, yoga in the West at the moment is considered by the medical fraternity as a mind-body medicine. Why it has been so? Till 1974, immune system was considered to be static by the medical world. That immune system cannot be manipulated.
Right.
In 1974, a scientist called Dr. Ader of Rochester University accidentally performed an experiment on the rats where it was found that immune system could be manipulated, and that turned the whole world upside down, medical world. And then they found that mind has a great influence on the immune system, and not only immune system but on all the systems of the body.
Right.
Yoga is the only thing in the world which controls, influences, changes, transforms the mind.
Right. I'll come back to you, Mr. Vyas. I'll come back to you. Brijesh, I want to ask you something. We have this ancient, practice, yoga. It's been in our midst. But somehow we only look at it as something which will cure us. Cure us of what? Restlessness, of, to have a bit of shanti as it. Why is it that we've not been able to, I'm just giving an example, like different practices of religion. I mean, you could pray your God, I could pray to my God. It's part of all our believers' lives, right? Like festivals become. How come yoga has never done that? School maybe they say ki 5वीं tak पढ़ लीजिए, उसके बाद everyone is like, I have to study a lot here, I don't have time to do yoga classes. Isn't that, we don't go for it regularly.
The reason I think is that, when you try to do, when you go for these crash diet courses or you go to gym or you go to, basically it's our desire to go for that instant fix, 2-minute noodle kind of a fix that, I do this for 2 months and I'm sorted, I've lost 15 kg, I'm done, I have, acquired what I wanted to do. It's a slightly longer drawn process, and I think, many have not been able to tell people of the kind of long-lasting benefit it provides. Had that been the case, I think the popularity would have been on another level altogether. It's not like that. It's physically more tough than the most of the Zumbas or the things of the world, Pilates, which you do. It is less painful than that. What people don't understand is that, I think there's also thing that there has been some attempt to portrayed as a particular religion's exercise or something like that, which is extremely unfortunate. Because that's why I'm saying, you have to, it's your desire, which blinkers are you going to put on and look at yoga. Whether you want to see it purely as a stretching exercise and nothing more than that. Still you will benefit from it. If you want to take it as an inward spiritual journey to cure yourself of hypertension, do meditation and then go for it to attain long drawn benefit, you just have to change the blinker. So the concept remains the same. The body-mind balance remains the same. It's just that you have to approach it with the correct thought. And I think, it is inculcated properly. I mean, the long-lasting benefits are too many for me to enumerate here.
Very well said. I mean, to look at it as if it belongs to just one religion or manifests itself amongst only one community is erroneous, like Brijesh says. Let's also listen to some other voices about Yoga Day, which will be celebrated tomorrow.
मैं सभी देशवासियों से कहता हूं कि आइए मिलकर योगा करें, आरोग्य को और बल दें, हम सब लोग स्वस्थ रहें, देश को स्वस्थ रखें। मोदी जी ने 2014 में जो यूनाइटेड नेशन जनरल असेंबली में ये मांग रखी थी 21 जून को विश्व योग दिवस के रूप में मनाने के लिए, दुनिया के सभी देशों ने आम सहमति से इसको योग दिवस मनाने की पहल की है। आज किसी भी क्षेत्र में आप देखेंगे लोग सफर करते समय भी योग करते हैं, दफ्तरों में योग करते हैं, मॉल्स में और बाकी जगह पर भी योग के लिए बहुत सारी सुविधाएं बनी हैं। इसलिए आइए योग करें। योग ने दुनिया को बहुत कुछ दिया है, अच्छा स्वास्थ्य दिया है और अपनी इस विद्या को दुनिया तक पहुंचाएं। आइए सब मिलकर योग करें।
June 21st is internationally recognized as the United Nations Day for yoga, which is fantastic. You know, that yoga has got such a strong prominence all over the world simply because of Prime Minister Modi. And then now at this location over here, that is the United Nations headquarters in New York, we're going to be having, of course, every year, World Yoga Day is celebrated here. But this year is going to be extra special because Prime Minister Modi is going to lead everybody into yoga. So I'm very thrilled that I'm going to attend World Yoga Day the day after tomorrow for this particular event.
योग जोड़ने का क्रम है, पूरी दुनिया को जोड़ने का क्रम है. जितनी नेगेटिव चीज़ें हैं वो समाप्त हो और वो व्यक्ति के भीतर से शुरू होती हैं. तो हम बेहतर व्यक्ति बने और योग के माध्यम से अपने शरीर मस्तिष्क को एक योग की मुद्रा में रखकर समाज की बेहतरी के लिए काम करें. और यही योगा दिवस का संदेश है. प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जब यूनाइटेड नेशन से अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस की घोषणा करवाई तो पूरी दुनिया ने उसको बहुत सहज भाव से एक्सेप्ट किया, माना, क्योंकि संदेश ही सबकी बेहतरी का है और यही हम सबका जो कार्य है या मन है वो उसी से जुड़ा हुआ है.
I guess on the right side that the visuals you just saw was in preparation of tomorrow, that everything is everybody is getting ready for this grand spectacle which will unfold tomorrow. 180 countries on Yoga Day, which of course is very special tomorrow as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a visit to the United States of America. Those are the preparations which are going on. That's New York and getting all ready for Yoga Day as it were. Let me now go back to the guests and I think Mr. Hira Yogi ji is also with us. हीरा योगी जी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रही थी कि हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि योगा, ब्रिजेश ने एक बड़ी सुंदर बात कही, कहा कि देखिए योगा को ऐसे भी देखा जाता है कि वो किसी व्यक्ति, किसी कम्युनिटी या किसी धर्म से संबंधित है, विच इज़ नॉट राइट एट ऑल. पर ऐसा क्यों परसेप्शन है? ये अगर परसेप्शन है, बिकॉज ये तो हमारे माइंड और बॉडी के बारे में है और इसका धर्म से तो कुछ भी लेना देना नहीं है, चूंकि ये वेद इसको कहा जाता है एक. और आपको क्या लगता है परसेप्शन उस कारण बना है?
देखिए, एक्चुअली में परसेप्शन इसलिए बना कि दो कम्युनिटीज हमारे पास आ गई और एक कम्युनिटीज कहती है कि ये शरीर से संबंधित है. एक्चुअली में है संबंधित शरीर से ही. आयुर्वेद में सारी दवाइयां शरीर से संबंधित ही हैं, लेकिन ये संप्रदाय सनातन से आया है. तो एक कम्युनिटीज क्या कहती है कि भाई ये एक सनातन से आया है, मतलब एक हिंदू कम्युनिटी से है, तो इसको उस प्रोस्पेक्ट से नहीं लेना चाहिए. लेकिन हमारे जो ऋषि मुनियों थे उन्होंने इसको बनाया था शरीर का स्वास्थ्य कैसे रखा जाए, मन का स्वास्थ्य कैसे रखा जाए, क्योंकि जब हमारा शरीर और मन ठीक रहेगा तो उससे रिलेटेड जो भी कार्य होंगे वो पॉजिटिव एटीट्यूड के साथ होंगे, सकारात्मक रवैया होगा, सोसाइटी में हर चीज अच्छी होगी. लेकिन हम जैसे ही लोगों ने इसको अलग अलग संप्रदाय में बांटने का कोशिश किया. तो मेरा तो अनुरोध यही है चैनल के माध्यम से, ये शरीर को स्वस्थ रखने की जीवन शैली को बैलेंस रखने की कला है जो योगा अभ्यास से आती है, प्राणायाम से आती है, ध्यान से आती है. और ये सभी संप्रदायों को करना चाहिए. इसको ये ना सोचे कि ये हिंदू ट्रेडिशन से आया है या कि हिंदू ही करेगा, इसको सनातन ही करेगा. इज दैट मीन कि ये हमारे शरीर को ठीक रखता है. जैसे कि डायबिटीज एक कह रहे थे कि हमारा कैपिटल बन रहा है भारत, तो वो तो किसी को भी हो सकता है ना, क्योंकि हमारा लाइफस्टाइल खराब है. योगाभ्यास करने से आपका शरीर ठीक रहेगा, आपके पेनक्रियास ठीक रहेगा, आपका डाइजेशन सिस्टम ठीक रहेगा, आपका हार्ट ठीक रहेगा. अब हार्ट अटैक ये पूछ के तो नहीं आता कि ये भाई ये हिंदू है मुस्लिम है, वो आ जाता है क्योंकि हमारा लाइफस्टाइल खराब है. तो हम लोगों को इसको इस तरीके से नहीं सोचना चाहिए, हमें ये सोचना चाहिए कि इससे हमारे शरीर को कितना फायदा होगा.
जी जी जी. Atul Vyas ji, I want to ask you something. What Hira Yogi ji said and what Brijesh said. The thing is that when you are in your, let's say in your teens, late teens, like 18, 19, 20, 21, you are not thinking about that, oh, it will give me long-term benefits. I mean, when I was 20 years old, if someone said at 40, this, I would say, listen, that's too far away. I don't want to think about it. I mean, a lot of people are like that. I mean, I'm not saying it's wise. They don't have the patience. Somehow the thing is that, do you think yoga has not become extremely popular with those iconic people, you know, who the young people look up to for great health? Tell me one young person, at least in Bollywood, who says, I do yoga and therefore I have six packs. So I'm asking you that, is that a disadvantage of yoga also, that it is not really aspirational?
No, not at all. Having six pack is really medically very dangerous. It has been proved. I mean, in Ramayana, if you read Ramayana deeply, Tulsidas ji has said that Lord Ram has only 3 layers in his stomach. They are considered ideal for your metabolism, for your stomach health, and for the young or the old to look externally healthy, happy and healthy, but today's youth is extremely unhappy. Therefore, so much depression, frustration, so much violence. Why? Because yoga. I will explain this very briefly. That yoga is called yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Why there is unrest in the youth and in the world today, and why yoga is popular? I am coming to that basic fact. What is chit and what is vritti? Man is called chanchal. I mean, mind is called restless, erratic. Why it is? Mind is not erratic. Mind is like a ship in an ocean.
Right.
And the waves are the vrittis. Waves move the ship. And in the present scenario, the marketing economy is making these waves very violent. And therefore, the ship is also getting, getting here and there unstable. And because the mind is unstable, the youth is very much frustrated because of all the attractions of the world and all the desires. And to calm the mind, you need to calm the vrittis or the waves. And yoga is the only technique which calms the mind, and therefore it is getting very popular and as an antidote to the stress.
All right. I want to ask, I mean, I'm bringing Brijesh here because let's understand, Brijesh is he has done very high-powered, high-tensed work all his life, right? So I'm asking both of you, will Brijesh reporting, running around, doing news? No, because see, our life, media, tell people think we just look pretty and nice and sit here.
No, they say about you, not me.
No. You're pretty right. Anyway, so the thing is that hectic life, din aur raat ka koi pata nahi hai, kabhi bhi bula sakte. Will yoga help a person like you? Have you ever tried it to see whether it calms you down?
I have tried it, and it does help. See, one of the thing is that I think one of the biggest problem is that it has never been. I've been sorry to use the word, but it has never been marketed the way it should have been. Because when there's a reason why people fall for these quick fixes, and there's a fad for these six-pack abs, and you said why all the top anchors or the top film stars are not promoting it, because there's somehow certain myths associated to it, that that you have to be in a certain state, that you have to do it in certain ways. I honestly speaking, to people I know and has been corroborated by both yoga gurus who have been who have at least 100 times more experience than me, it is nothing like that. But somehow it has been projected as as going to gym is not a task, but doing yoga is a task.
Yes, exactly.
I am always been baffled by the fact that that something which is so easy can be done at home. You learn it, you can practice it at home, doesn't cost you any massive expensive accessories, can be done in 10 minutes, can be done with 20 minutes, depending on what kind of time you have. Yet it has, and with proven benefits, yet it has never gotten the kind of iconic status it should have gotten, which is very, very baffling, at least to me.
हीरा योगी जी, क्या कहेंगे आप इसके बारे में, जो ब्रिजेश जी ने कहा कि इसको ठीक तरह से मार्केट, आप देखिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी इसको लेके गए, इंटरनेशनल ब्रांड बना दिया, लेकिन अगर हम घर की बात करें, जैसे मैंने कहा कि जिस तरह का काम हम लोग करते हैं, हमारे लिए तो बहुत ही उपयोगी होगा, लेकिन मार्केट नहीं किया गया इसको।
देखिए, मार्केट अब हम लोग बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं। हमारा सोशल मीडिया पे अगर ग्रैटिंग देखें तो मिलियंस में है, बहुत ज्यादा। हम लोगों को एक इजी वेज बताते हैं कि भाई आप बैठे हुए हैं, जैसे आप चेयर पे बैठे हुए हैं, आपको पता है कि ज्यादा देर बैठने से हमारे को बैक पेन हो जाएगा, किसी को नी पेन हो जाएगा, किसी को काफ मसल पेन होगा। और आपने एक बड़ा बड़ा हैट्रिक होता है जी हमारा काम, क्योंकि बोलना पड़ता है ना, जहाँ पे ज्यादा बोलना पड़ेगा वहां पे भी तो एनर्जी लेवल लग रही है ना, ऐसी जगह पे हमारे ब्रीदिंग्स काम आती है। क्योंकि जब आप बोल रहे होते हैं तो आपका ब्रीदिंग पैटर्न बहुत ज्यादा फास्ट हो रहा होता है, लेकिन जब आपको 2 मिनट का ब्रेक मिलता है, अगर आप वहां पे 3 डीप ब्रीदिंग ही ले लें लंबी लंबी, यू फील वेरी काम, यार अब मजा आता है। तो इसमें क्या है कि
अच्छा।
सबसे बड़ा हमारा एक मिथ, सबसे बड़ा ये चल रहा है कि हम सोचते हैं योग बुजुर्गों की चीज है। मैं ये कहता हूँ योग सिर्फ जवानों के लिए बना हुआ है, क्योंकि जो जवानी में योग कर लेगा ना, उसका बुढ़ापा बहुत अच्छा कटने वाला है, उसका मिडिल एज बहुत अच्छा कटने वाला है। क्योंकि मैं अक्सर डेली मेरी क्लासेस में आते हैं, वो लोग आते हैं कि सर हम 45 के हो गए, हम पे गोटे खराब हो गया। आप बताइए कि 45 के में नीज खराब होते हैं क्या? हमारे हालत तो ये हो गई है। तो मैं सबको यही कहता हूँ, अपने जहां बैठे हो, चेयर पे बैठे हो, डेस्क पे बैठे हो, चल रहे हो,
All right.
कुछ भी कर रहे हो, हम छोटी छोटी एक्टिविटीज कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी बॉडी में जॉइंट्स, मशीन में भी तो होते हैं जॉइंट्स, तो यू हैव टू मूव समथिंग लाइक दैट। जैसे अभी आप बैठे हुए हो, अब आप कहो कि आपको बात कर रहे हैं लेकिन पता नहीं बॉडी में क्या चीज चल रही है। आप बैठे हुए थोड़ा देर आपने हाथ ऐसे किया, ऐसे ऐसे हल्का हल्का हाथ को रब कर लिया, आपने थोड़ा थोड़ा गर्दन को लेफ्ट एंड राइट कर, लेकिन इन द टाइम ऑफ इंटरवल सबके सामने नहीं करना। तो इंटरवल में कर लिया तो आपकी जो मसल्स स्टिफ हुई थी मैं वो रिलैक्स हो जाएंगी। तो
जरूर।
आपने क्या किया, सिर्फ ब्लड की सप्लाई बढ़ा दी, मसल्स को रिलैक्स मिल गया और आपका योगा भी हो गया साथ साथ। यही तो
कितनी
योगा
अच्छी बात। मुझे लगता है ब्रेक्स में अब यही करेंगे हम लोग। एंड कंसिडरिंग टुमारो इज योगा डे, आई थिंक द एंटायर वर्ल्ड विल बी डूइंग समथिंग which we all, four of us right now who are talking, should be very proud that it belongs to this country called India, that is also Bharat. Thank you so much Atul Vyas ji, thank you so much Hira Yogi, thank you so much Brijesh for joining us. So yoga day tomorrow, and I'm sure that you're going to get your mats out, and like Brijesh said, you just need 5 minutes of your time. If you want to do it, nothing like it. If you don't, maybe next year. But for all the other news and analysis, this is your destination, News9 Live. Keep watching.